Hey, what's up, guys? This is T-Bone here. Welcome to another stream, another off-day stream, if you will. And this time it's going to be focused on the proving grounds again. I didn't get a chance to do the fourth proving ground, which is actually the one with a dark boss that uses light cards. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to go up against Destiny's Burden, so that we could actually try out a couple of decks, build out a couple of decks, and we're going to talk about like what you should we should be using, and also what's effective, what's not effective, so we can take a look. And also, we'll talk about the event that just passed, and also any other questions that people may have. Kenny Spim, welcome, and thanks for joining us. And Reaper, hello, guys. So I actually just realized something. So one of the things I didn't actually account for is the counter skills for this particular boss. And so let's go take a look. The one I'm concerned about is Gem Silence. So I need to make sure that I actually have Gem Silence here, which I don't think I have. So let's take a look here. I wanted to build a couple of decks. The first one I'm building is actually a Slayer deck, and the second deck I'm building is a Commander deck. So that I wanted to sort of like show the difference and kind of talk about like what you can do, even if you don't have the right deck, type for the specific event type. There are probably still others that are, viable. So I wanted to talk through those. And Gris, dark hearts suck. Yeah, so like I think I got lucky with my Slayer deck, so I got a couple of good decks here, and I also have the one from the last Dark Commander, so I'm gonna give that a try here. So good morning, Anna. So I guess it's morning over where you are at. It's almost morning, if you will. It's almost midnight here where I'm at. And Spidey Jack, thank you. I'm doing well, thank you, and hope you're doing well as well. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I actually have the Gem Silence to spell, which I get from the Spirit Caller Headcap, which is perfect because that is actually one of the more devastating skills, counter skills that's going to come on a little bit later. Like you won't get hit right away. You're going to get hit by the counter skills a little bit later once the enraged stats actually go up a bit. But usually by then, you're going to have your cards be stunned and you're not going to be dealing a lot of damage. And on top of that, if you get the Gem Silence, then you're basically done for that fight. And so one of the things I've learned in the last, basically the last week playing through the Proving Grounds, is that you want to get your damage in as early as possible. And so try to get your damage in like a turn 2 or turn 3. That's going to probably dictate the majority of your attack. But then if you have a good deck and you can actually survive a couple of hits and then attack some more, and you can dispel some of the counter skills, then that's where you're going to be able to add on to that overall damage there. But I think that the first 3 turns are going to be critical. And also before we begin, just wanted to say congratulations to the winner from the drawing for the post there. There were about 200 comments there, so I was really surprised, and I was really happy to see that much movement there. So it was Sir Strong Wolf who actually won the drawing there. So congratulations. You should be receiving one gauntlet sometime in the future there. So again, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody for participating and for all of the support and all of the it seemed like it was a lot of fun, and so I'm looking for more opportunity to do something in the future as well. So let's go ahead and use our Bio Blitzer deck. So I have in here Bio Blitzer and also the Spirits United. And also we've got the Freedom Fighters, and I added in here Hell just to see if that would help with sort of like the gem, power gem creation there. And so we do get we do have 2 killer skills applied here, so we're going to get at least some additional bonus there. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is, okay, so I'm not going to get the one from Bio Blitzer, but one thing I wanted to I guess there was a Freedom Fighter, so that's okay. So actually I'm actually okay with that. And so what I want to try and do is see how much damage you can do for the first couple of turns. And I think what I need to do is, if I activate Hellcat now, then I'm not going to be able to activate my Bio Blitzer and use that a little bit later. So I'm actually going to wait a little bit and see how much I can do with this particular setup here. And so, Mahel, nice to see you here, and Grumpy Duda, welcome to the stream. All right, so I actually missed how much we did, but right now we're at 840. So about between 1100 to 1300 is about my range given my deck so far. So with this, I'm hoping I can get to about 1,000 or 1,100. Like it's not I don't have the greatest setup right now. Again, I'm just kind of playing, and I'm playing on against a commander boss. I'm using Slayer deck against a commander boss, and right now I'm actually going to be losing my leader bonus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate Hellcat as well as the Spirits United, just so I can get the bonus going, and hopefully I can actually create more power gems this way. And so let's see. And so I'm hoping that my Spirits United gets stunned here. That's actually going to be the ideal situation, but that doesn't happen. So so I'm gonna have to go with it anyway. I'm gonna lose I'm going to be losing the leadership skill though, so that kind of sucks. And so the thing about this deck right here, so the heal factor that I have is really through Hellcat and a little bit through Hell. And so you're going to see my other deck that I'm going to show later that I took that into consideration as well as I'm thinking about what to do for later on, for fights later on. And so Mariska, you have a question about the avatar card frame with my name on it. Did I make it yourself? Did I make it myself, or did somebody else make it? So I actually did it myself. I just used I just kind of did a little cutout, and then I just kind of put myself in there as well. So it was just nobody else made it for me. It's just an idea that I had, just kind of play with it, and so glad you like it. And so I kind of lost on that one. So all right, so let's try this again. So let's try and put the Hellcat in there as well. Get a little bit heal. And Maria, welcome to the stream, and Li Xiang from California, welcome to the stream here. So yeah, so I'm just kind of doing another stream here. I kind of figured that the Proving Grounds is actually kind of like a fun short sort of activity I can do a quick short stream for. It's not really a long. It's not intended to be a really long one. My Hellcat got because my Hellcat got stunned. It doesn't actually have the counter skill that can be applied here, so I actually got Gem Silence. So that's really unfortunate. So I'm at 920. I can at least get over the bump to 960, but my goal really is I would like to try to get to 1,000 at the minimum. I'm hoping that I think my health wise, I think I should be okay, but we're at the point right now where my cards are already getting stunned for 2 turns, so that's not gonna work well. So I'm gonna have to think about something here. So this isn't looking like a great setup here, just because I have too many dependencies to really get the power gems going. I couldn't really activate them. So like the problem with the Spirits United deck is that you need the ultra rare card to really activate it, and if Hellcat is stunned, then you can never really do anything. And so if I use this right now, which I'm tempted to, I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to get my Freedom Fighters back, and then I'm going to lose one of them. But I'm going to take a chance here and see what happens. So how are you guys doing with the Proving Grounds here? Like, are you guys still enjoying it? Have you guys actually opened up any crates so far? And so it looks like I'm going to have to do this. So I'm actually saving my crates just so that I could hopefully open up a I'm hoping to open up the 10 times crate just to see if I can get there. Okay, so at least I got 960. It's doubtful that I'm actually going to be able to get more than that. But we're going to try this anyway. So let's go ahead and activate Hellcat. And what we're going to do is we're going to at least make the gem matches so that we can activate her skill and also refill the Spirits United deck cards. All right, so I can get at least Bio Blitzer back, or not Bio Blitzer. I can get the Freedom Fighters back. I lose my bonus and I lose my health. All right, so 960 is all I got for this deck. Again, this is the pure Slayer deck against a commander boss, so it's not going to be that great. We're actually going to put in another deck that's commander based, and we're going to see how this works. And we're going to be putting in the reset deck, and we're going to see how that works. So let's see. So Sandra, the Proving Grounds is the mix of the Spire with Punisher bosses technique. Yeah, so it's very interesting. It's very different. So I'm still kind of exploring and experimenting from there. So Robert, hi from Romania, welcome. Wow, all the way from Romania. So yeah, thanks. I'm just kind of playing around, and hopefully this is going to be useful. So I'm using a commander deck here, and so I'm using the Wicked Queen as a healer card. I'm thinking about this just because I know that this deck that I'm using right here is actually not a very great deck for health. You know, like it doesn't have good heal, and it is very susceptible to high damage. And so while it can actually dish out damage quickly, it can't really survive a lot of big hits. And that's why I put the Wicked Queen in here. She's a warden, but she also is a commander, so it also really helps there. Her battle skill, if I can use it, will also heal for 25% of the max health. So it's going to help me, I guess, a little bit later on. And so I'm using a reset deck, but I'm choosing to bring in a support card rather than one more Master Collection card. And the reason I'm doing that is because I think if I am breaking the team up a little bit, having another support card to reset my ultimate form is probably going to be more beneficial than a Master Collection card. That's what I'm thinking anyway. But now that I'm thinking about it, if my ultimate form and my Master Collection card gets blocked, then it might be better to have the Master Collection card in there. At least that's what I'm thinking about. So let's see. Maybe we'll do that, because I don't think I'm going to get the 300 skill point to get the ultimate gem. Like, I just don't think I really am going to. So let's try this instead. So let's actually go back and put in the Master Collection card, so that we have one ultra rare card that's going to do the reset. But now the question is whether or not we should do a Master Collection card or support card. I can't decide on this one. I just kind of feel like the fact that I'm going to be getting stunned, and if I'm left with just ultra rare cards, I'm basically resetting nothing. And so that's the thing I want to avoid. So let's go ahead and use this deck. Somehow Fillmore taking one for the team. Yeah, so this is how I would have played anyway, so I just kind of thought it would be good to share. I didn't get a chance to share with the team I used in the last fight when I went up against a dark boss. I actually managed to get 1300, so I was pretty happy about that. And that one I used my yokai deck, combined the yokai deck with the scholars. And so again, I was using a Slayer light deck, but because the yokai was healing me so well, I survived a lot longer, and I was able to do pretty good damage, all the time. And so, okay, so here it is. My ultra rare card got stunned, so I couldn't actually do a reset, but I could still go ahead and basically do at least this. So this is where I think if I had the support card, I would have at least been able to reset my ultimate form, and that would have given me a bit more damage. And so I can't really decide which one would have been better. I just kind of feel that with the 3 cards in here, I'm at least increasing my my stacks of dread by 3 each time, which allows me to get more power gems. So let's see. I don't know if that was the right move or not, but we're gonna try this out. And so Mount Fillmore, you think you know the answer already, but do I think that Reforged Vanguard Contessa will be an MVP when it comes time to use the red deck? So Reforged Contessa is really good for dispelling. It's good for dispelling, but it doesn't. I don't think it actually has any heal. I can't remember what other attributes she has, but it's generally really a good card for PvP for sure, and so it could be really useful as well. And also, it's a Generation 3 card, so definitely would be worth a shot. And when the Fire Slayer deck comes around, when the Earth boss comes around for us to use our fire decks, I'm gonna be exploring that possibility as well. And so Wes, will the Spirit United deck straight out work well for you? So just using it straight without actually using any of the cards. So you got the ultimate form and 2 Spirit Hellcat, 2 Cadoc. Okay. And so having two Hellcats saved you from gem silence. Yeah, so that's actually really good. Like, I wish I had 2 copies of the ultra rare there, but I don't have them, unfortunately. All right, so this is good. So I can actually go ahead and activate these 2, then activate my my ultra rare to reset. I don't actually need to use my my Wicked Queen just yet, just because like she's really just there for the passive heal. And when I need to, and if I could, I would actually activate her to do a little additional heal, which I will do a little bit later. And so let's see how much damage you can do here. So jump up to 960. That's looking a little bit better. And so this is a 3-turn deck generally, and so every 3 turns I can actually activate. And so now here's the interesting thing: if my passive healer is stunned, then I don't think I get to actually passively heal either. So I'm going to be losing a little bit more health there. All right, so the lag is a little bit bad here. So let's see. Anniversary deck is also idle deck adjustment. My anniversary deck also idle deck adjustment, please. So I think what you're asking is if I could talk to you about like what to adjust for the deck. Yeah. So what I did was I basically just used. Just 1 second. What I did was I basically used my. I used the Scholar's ultimate form, and I used obviously the Yokai Scholar, the Yokai ultimate form, and I think I focused having more of the nuke cards in there rather than the Yokai cards, just because it gives me that additional nuke damage afterwards, which I would then be able to deal a little bit more damage afterwards. All right, so this is already a little bit better. We're at 1,050, and I didn't account for Gem Silence. Does this actually? I think this actually cleanses, right? This is a. I don't remember this cleanse, but the Wicked Queen actually will do one cleanse, I think. So when I need to, then I'm gonna go ahead and when I need to, then I'll go ahead and use that. All right, so let's wait one more turn here. So I think I could do this. All right, so let's go ahead and attack. Yeah, so with this deck, you need to attack more so you can create more power gems. And because my Master Collection card was actually blocked, I'm losing my stacks a little bit. So let's see. So when you activate, it'll actually remove one debuff from a hero. I'm hoping it doesn't remove from. It removed it from the wrong one. All right, so let's go and we need to wait because I can't activate my ultimate form or my Master Collection card. So that was a mistake. I didn't account for a Gem Silence in this case. I actually thought about it in the Slayer deck and I didn't think about it in the Commander deck. So now I'm gonna have to try and wait for my Wicked Queen to be unstunned and then activate her. But I also need to get 9 gen match. This is gonna be rough. I can't actually do anything here. So this is gonna be a mistake here that I wish I was talking about, right? Like you want to make sure you have Gem Silence to spell, and I was the one that forgot to bring in a Gem Silence to spell there. So that was definitely my bad there. And because she was stunned, she also didn't recharge there. So this is basically done at this point, I think, unless I can miraculously get something going here. So let's hope that both of these. Sorry, so it's actually not gonna happen. I guess I'm gonna get Gem Silence every turn here. So now you can sort of see how difficult this could be if you don't have if you don't actually get the counter for Gem Silence. Like you basically can't do anything. So this is one of the worst Gem Silence and Power Gem Silence. Honestly, like the worst skill for this kind of boss, and you're really forced to bring in something to dispel. So that so let's see. Hellcat and Spirits United dispel Genocide. Yeah, so like in my previous Slayer deck, I had those cards that dispelled it, so that was a lot better. But in this sort of Commander decks, what I wanted to try was bringing in a Commander deck just to get more damage out of it. Like in general, a Commander deck in a Commander event, if you can bring in at least 1 or 2 Commander cards, then it's going to increase the damage across all of your cards. And so what I did was I kind of had a team that was just pure Slayer, didn't have any Commander, and then the other one as a pure Commander without any Slayers in there. I think it's actually a little bit better, I think, in Commander, if you can, to mix and match a little bit, if you have more powerful Slayer deck. And also in this particular case, I didn't have the right counter cards. I really should have considered that. So that would have been something I need to that's something I need to do better for the next time for sure. I did manage to get a little bit increase in my damage there, so I got, what was it, my best all-time here was 1050, so that's nowhere near close to what I usually get. But this is sort of like the team I have right now, and we do have a Dark Slayer event next, and so I'm hoping to build on top of my my current Slayer deck here. So how are you guys enjoying this, and how are you guys doing? And let's take a look. So we've got War Beast and Soul that took War Beast so far sort of dominating the proven ones, that's expected, but so far we've also got Blades of Legendary that is currently in the #1 spot for this particular boss. So let's see if we actually get another winner this time around. And so this is sort of like the first 5 days. I'm not sure what what the next 2 days is going to be like, since we've already gone through the affinity. But I would imagine that they would probably just keep rotating. So I would assume that if this is a daily activity, then the next time maybe we would do a fire. I will go back to fire, but then it'll be a Slayer one. So I'm not sure, and then we'll probably just kind of keep rotating every 5 days. And yeah, so same. So I do have Simlo, although I didn't keep her around, so she's dusted. So that is something I will have to bring back as well. She will also cleanse, which is nice. So yeah, and I can't remember. So let's take a look at the Reforged Contessa, because I can't remember if she gets blocked by Gem's Silence, right? So let's take a look at type Fable. And so a Reforged Contessa will cleanse everything, but she also creates gems. Yeah, so she'll create fire gems and she'll cleanse all debuffs, but then if there's a gem silence that's cast on her, then her ability will actually not go off. So that's the downside to Contessa, is that gem silence becomes sort of her weakness in the deck here. But definitely the next Earth Slayer boss, I guess. And if my guess is correct, that might actually be the next boss. Like, we might actually get the next boss, which is the Fire Slayer. So I can't tell. Like, I'm not sure if it tells you what the next one is, but that is, if we go with the same schedule, then I would expect that to be it. If you take a look at the store, I've got 1.1 thousand coins stored up right now. I'm less than a tenth way through getting the Master Collection card of my choice. I'm still trying to decide whether I'm going to do that, or I'm going to wait until I get 2,700 coins and then just go for the crates and try to get some gauntlets there. But looking back here, this is where, well, I've got Dr. Nuna, and now I can actually get the Fist of Islam. I'm not sure that is going to be a great ultimate form. Keep in mind that all of these ultimate forms that you're going to forge here, you're going to lose both your Master Collection card and the ultra rare card, and so that's something to think about. Although, the light commander here, Sweet Savior, is a really good card, as it turns out, because of her ability to make the enemy take more damage. And so this is very much like the Pro Cambrias, and so this is one of the ultimate forms I actually think would be good, just because you can also increase the amount of damage they do. Although this one has a cost, so whenever you activate, it's going to cost 50 gem skill points. It creates at the ultimate form, it does create a good number, but then, like, if you're going to be losing your gem point skill points, you're not going to be able to activate the ultimate gem. And so sort of the weakness of these older ultimate forms is that they used to have some that cost gem skill points, and also you have to sacrifice both the ultra rare card and the Master Collection card. So you're actually sort of losing 2 cards for creating 1, and so that's something you have to really think about. And so you're wondering if Contessa can dispel the Petrify and the Freeze debuff. So it won't. So those debuffs are not counterable. You cannot counter those. The only ones you can counter are the ones that are listed as specifically ones that you can counter. So if you go back here, it'll tell you that the counter skills are Gem Silence, Armor, and Traitor. So those are the ones that you can counter. But then, like, what you cannot counter are going to be Enrage and Shock. So these ones will only be removed by the Gauntlet, or if you let the time pass. And so those are the only things that will be possible. And so if you take a look at the recommended heroes, I don't have any of those, none of the relics, and I do have a heal scroll. So that is something that I do have, but I'm not planning on using those. And break time. Oh, so it's break time for, yeah. So I'm streaming for a little bit. I think not sure how long it's been right now. Probably just about 15-20 minutes. I meant it for it to be like a short one. I'm just having a little quick conversation with you guys and kind of give you my thoughts on the Proving Ground so far, and hopefully we can kind of show you how I've played this. And I'm sure you guys are doing way better than me for this particular one. I didn't do all that great given the cards I had, but there's always room for improvement. So the thing I wanted to talk about with the scrolls. So if you can see here, I do have, I don't even have enough to basically create them, I don't think. But I do have, I think, a couple of scrolls. I do have some. My recommendation here is, if you have a couple of the 1-star scrolls, I don't think they're actually useful. I don't think they're quite strong enough to really make a difference. So I would actually save up a few scrolls, and what I would do is I probably will actually try to forge a couple of higher star ones, just because if you take a look at the comparison, like let's compare a 2 let's compare a 1-star, right? A 1-star health, you increase your health by 6%. Compare that to a 2-star at 8%. I guess it goes up linearly, and then it goes up to 12%, and then 4 stars you go up to 24%, and I guess it just kind of doubles, right? And then it goes up to 48. Finally, at 6 stars you can get a 96% increase in your health, which is a significant difference, right? So using up a bunch of 1-star health HP scrolls isn't going to get you anywhere. That 6% is really going to be minimal, but it does start making a difference at a higher level. And by the way, I'm not really sure if health is going to be a best scroll in my opinion. I think the better one is going to be damage reduction or regeneration. Those are probably going to be better, and I feel like regeneration might be better, especially if you can pair it with something that gives you health. So if you get this and you have some relics that really increase your health, for example, like a legend relic that gives you a health sort of increase, then this will actually come in even more handy because you get max HP percentage as opposed to just a static increase of your health. And so this will actually probably give you better regeneration and keep you alive longer. This coupled with a gauntlet, I think is going to be really useful. And so yes, scrolls will disappear once you use them. They'll, like, the way you see them is when you take a look at scrolls. I'm going to show you right now. Let's see. So I think relics here, we can CH. It stands for charge. So it tells you how many charges you have. And that really just means like how many times you can equip it. And so I've got 2 charges of the fire and 1 charge of each of the regenerate. Really think about it. If you only have the one, like whether you need it or not. And like I said, these 1-star scrolls, I'm not really sure it's worth using. You'll probably get better value out of them simply by storing them and forging them. It takes 2 to forge to the next level. But then because then you think about it, in order to get a 3-star scroll, you're going to need 4 1-stars. So it does get costly near the end. So you're going to have to sort of think about what you get. So I think it's going to be a combination of pulling it from the store and also just getting gifts from from your guildmates and whatnot. And in terms of scrolls, I think that using higher stars is going to be better, but then it's going to be a cost benefit of using up all of those scrolls to forge one in order to use it for the one time. But it could be the one time that gets you that over that bump for the high score that you couldn't achieve. So that's something that I would think about using. And yes, I am late. It's not a usual time for me, but recently it's been hard for me to stream at the normal time, and this is sort of my off time for my streams. And so I kind of want to keep this a little bit shorter, but at the same time, I just kind of want to do this a little bit more regularly so that we can keep this up. I still plan to do the preview stream, which is going to be later on tonight. Well, I guess tomorrow, but it's already tonight for me. But for the Tuesday stream, it's going to be the same time. And so let's see. And so the damage scores are even bigger deal. The damage 64 per turn. Yeah, so then like the damage ones are going to be good for, like I mentioned in my sort of introduction video, the damage ones is going to be really useful as well. Even if you can't attack, you still damage the boss. But then you're really gonna, like, if you're at some point though, it stops becoming useful. Just like if we take a look at the damage, like if we take a look at the boss, we're talking about trillions of damage, right? And if we look at a 6-star one, it is going to deal 262. And so you need to be able to attack for at least 5 turns to deal 1 trillion damage. And so you're gonna have to be able to survive longer. So in order to use these spells or scrolls, I think having a good healthy team that can but that can heal a lot is probably going to be most useful, because I think with this, in order to really take advantage of the scroll, you want to be able to you want to go as many turns as possible. So going longer longevity is going to be key for these damage ones. Don't have any of these at high level to really try out, but I'm looking forward to using that at a later time. So we will definitely do that. Okay. And the kids asleep. Yeah, like it's a like I try to go bring my kids to bed at a regular time, but I had some errands I needed to do, so I just couldn't get away tonight. But definitely for this first couple of weeks, I wanted to at least do it every day. I wanted to try and get a Proving Grounds video out every day for different boss. Given that we have Slayer next time, at least 5 affinities. I would like to do at least the next 5, so that we can talk about like the bosses sort of at a broader spectrum, and then we can have some reference point future as well. So Jason Spar, thank you very much for the support. It's been enjoyable, so I really like this as well. And so yes, so thank you, Chromosux, for the information there. My typical streams are Tuesdays, which is when the day before the event starts, when the preview is available. That is 8:30 p.m. on Pacific time, and then the day after event starts, which is going to be usually Thursday evenings at 8:30. And I always will provide some update in my community post if the stream times are going to be a little bit different. These ones that I come on, I just kind of do this as a surprise, and people join me when they can, which I'm really grateful for. But yes, typically expect streams for Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover today. These are the 2 bosses here. I didn't really participate much in this event, so didn't have much to say about it, but I am looking forward to the next Dark Slayer. I'm actually really looking forward to the Water Slayer. I'm not sure what the Dark Slayer deck is going to be like just yet, but I guess we'll talk about it in the preview. What I will say about this event is that I am a little disappointed I couldn't pull any of the cards I wanted in all of the packs. So the Anniversary pack went up to tier 5. Well, I went up to tier 4, didn't get anything, and I opened up as many of the other packs that they came out with. I didn't have any success there, then I just decided to not invest anymore. Still have just a single ultra rare, so I didn't go in on this one either to get the Master Collection card. Decided to hold off my dust. So this is basically just a wash for me. So this event didn't do very well, but I managed to survive. Went back down to the Emperor's League, which is actually where my comfort zone is anyway. So that's that. So we're gonna take a look at the cards next time, and we're gonna see how we can use those cards for the upcoming Slayer Proving Ground bosses. I'm actually looking forward to the Slayer bosses, because that's where we're going to see some really good damage, and we're going to have some fun there. And so Mount Fenimore, it's really fun how you progress if you have less and less cards to use. So I think that's the challenge there. And I think once we start getting once we start earning those gauntlets and they start, helping, I think it's going to make it a lot more enjoyable as well. Right now, it's really just about the burst damage in the first few turns. And then basically, you might as well just quit after that if you can't get over the bump. But I think that's the motivation in getting the gauntlets. And I will still say this, right? Like, I hope that they keep the gauntlets as a free to play item that's accessible through progression. Like, I'm really looking forward to building up my coins and then purchasing my gauntlets and then upgrading it like that way. Like, it really makes me feel like there's a sense of progression, so that I can get over my next sort of best score. Like, that's actually something I look forward to. And so I hope that they keep this for at least a long while. Like, I understand the business models, they need to make money, but this is one area where I think they just came out with this, and I would really, really hate to see this being monetized immediately. So I would like to see this go on for at least a while for us to be able to earn our gauntlets naturally, and then we'll see what happens there. And so, Mount Fenimore, this event shall be henceforth be called the chicken of the sea for its blandness. That's funny. And so, Arunov, I will take a look at your cards, not today, but on Thursday is when I typically will give help to people who need help and build decks that way. So Thursdays are my deck building days. And so if you join me for the stream, then I can definitely help you out. And so, Chromosux, you got some gem saves. So yeah, so hopefully you can get a good deck in the next event. Okay, be nice to this, isn't it? And so, Blazing Bullets, thanks for joining us here. And Rock for Life, enjoying your study time. Hope you have fun there, and we'll see you next time as well. And so that's probably going to be it for me for today. And any help I can give, I'll do that on Thursday, including Guild versus Guilds. Now it's good now that we don't, now the events, the season is over, we can talk about that on Thursday. There's no rush there. Okay. And so, yeah, I will try to remember, but you're going to have to remind me again, since there is a lot of people that usually will request for help anyways. So just remember, come by on the stream and then let me know and we'll take a look. Okay. So that's it for me for today. 10,000 or 10,000 1,050 is my best score so far. Looking forward to improving that for the next time. So this is sort of the bar. The bar's been set. Next time we come back, we're gonna try to achieve a higher score for sure. The next light committed one anyway, and it will be back for we'll be back for the next one tomorrow and also for the preview. So thanks a lot, guys. Have a good evening, good morning, good day, wherever you may be. And very nice to see some of the people I only see in comments live in the chat here. So nice to see you all. All right, take care, guys. See ya.